Good morning. I finished my first, not my last. I finished my first junk journal last night. This is for my daughter. She loves to read, so I initially started off with the idea that I would make her some bookmarks. And before I knew it, I was into the junk journaling world, and this book is the result of that. I did put a yarn tie on. I'm not sure that that's what I'm going to keep, but we'll see. I used the cover from an old book. A friend of mine that I'd known since about 6th grade gave me a bunch of journaling supplies when I first started. Sadly, within a few weeks after that, she passed away. So there's some sentimentality to the book cover for me. Anyway, I had done some jelly plate papers, and that's what I used on the cover. On the front, I used one, and then another one on the back. It's actually 2 sections, and then a different one on the spine. The mushrooms and whatnot were cut out from a coloring book, like the adult coloring books, or the stress relieving coloring books, and I thought they were cute. This little cutout gal that's reading was also in the supplies from my friend, and when I saw it immediately made me think of my daughter, and so I decided to use it for the cover. And then I just washi taped a little bit of it on an area that I either didn't like the way the flow went, or actually I think it was, these are 2 different pieces of paper, and same thing on the back, 2 different pieces of paper, and then just wash it across. And I don't have any fancy setup or anything, so I'm going to try and do this one-handed. So it took me a long time. I had the cover done early, and then it took me a long time to figure out what I wanted to do with my signatures. I'm going to try and remember everybody that I watched or took hints from in creating this. I know right off the bat there's going to be Pam from the Paper Outpost, when I did my coffee and tea and avocado dyed papers, and Heather and Jan, I bought her junk journal templates that I use on Canva, and those have been great fun. Canva is a great resource as well. And gosh, I mean, there's inspiration, whether it's from gel printing, painting, or whatever, Carrie Griffiths, Carrie the Crafter, P&M Artist Studios, really everybody I've seen on Mixed Media Facebook page from P&M Artists. Tracy Fox, TLC Creatives, I want to say. Anyway, I'll figure them all out and try and add them. But there's so many more people that I've watched and been influenced by and gotten little tips and whatnot. So even if I could remember them all, that'd be amazing for me, because I just don't have that kind of memory. Anyway, let's continue on. So on the inside of the book, I used paper from just one of my pads of scrapbook papers for the facing of the front and back pages, and then I just, oops, sorry, and then I just used torn book page to kind of scatter around. So again, front and back are done that way. And then for each signature, I used some, sorry about the video. I used, again, just the pages from scrapbook papers. Some of them I decorated, some I did not, just because I like the way they looked anyway. Maybe I will lay it down. I don't know which way is going to be easier. Try not to have a shadow. So inside the first page, again, this is just a scrapbook paper page that I used. This is gel plate paper that I made, and I just backed it with a card and then smushed around with the what is this? Trying to think of the color of the ink that I used to edge it with. It's Tim Holtz, one of the Tim Holtz colors. I can't remember it right off the top of my head. I either use Tim Holtz inks or archival ink for edging and discoloring some of my papers. The back is, let's see, sorry, I'll figure this out. The back is printer or jelly plate, brayer off paper, I think, that I used. The butterfly, I think, was Canva, that I printed off of Canva, maybe from Hither and Yon's gosh, my brain is going blank, from Hither and Yon, but there's somebody else that I printed stuff from, and I'll have to figure out who that is because it may have been from their page. Anyway, so there's the little pocket, and then inside the pocket, some cards I made, some came from Tim Holtz collections. This one I made, it's again just a jelly print paper that I made, printed off the butterfly from Canva. The moon was a circle that I had punched out and then just used part of it, so I just finished it into a moon. Tim Holtz, the little wording pads, I found that saying, and then a little washi tape. And then I just drew some lines on and stamped the back. And used Tim Holtz tissue paper to line the inside. And a little washi tape to cover the brad for the closure. This is dyed paper that I did, and I just left it blank. School book page that I just turned sideways. I still, even though it doesn't seem like it would be easy to write on, I still think it's fun to just have it a different direction. This is just a book page that I used, and then the flowers are watercolor painted coffee filters that I just scrunched up and then put a button for the center. This is just a scrapbook page, and then I printed this off of Canva using, I used the template from Hither and Yon for the landing space for the pattern that I wanted, and then I just selected this background, which I think is kind of fun. If you can see, it makes it look like a textured, and then I like the steampunk whale, so I put the whale on there, and it gives some writing space. This side, the paper was brayer off sheets, and I sewed the two braille off sheets, tore them, sewed them together, and then glued them to the page. And this was a tag from one of the Tim Holtz things that I bought. I do have some that are not Tim Holtz, but I think most of them I used are from one of their collections. And just, add a little tag or a little ribbon to it, fabric. And then this one is the map one, and I just added the little compass dial, and if wanted, it could be turned, but I thought it made a cute tag to be able to pull it out pretty easily. This one, I'll have to think about who offered these, because I think these were a free printable, and I just think that the tags with these images are gorgeous with the aging and whatnot. This one I chose to make smaller so that it would fit in the book, so I cut some of it off, but and then I just added a stamp folded in half as the tab, and then she fits nicely in here. And I like that she only goes in far enough so you can just kind of see half of her face. There's a little mystery. This is a like a doily that I found at a thrift store, and I just folded it in half and sewed it, and then I've got facing this direction, because it's see-through, I wanted something on each direction. So on this side is just, again, a card from, I believe, Tim Holtz that I used the inking on. And then on this side, the same place that I printed off this gal also had these tickets that I thought were really great. So I just clipped some of those together and inked them up, and thought they were kind of cute. Again, coffee dyed paper that I made. This is just a book page, and I just used a couple of these from Tim Holtz collection just as a fun little addition. Okay, I'll do that later. Again, scrapbook paper, but I didn't do anything on this side. And on this side, I used tulle, two different colors of tulle, and just overlapped them and glued them down. And again, another one of these nice butterflies that I printed off, and then just a couple little labels. Coffee dyed paper, tea dyed paper. I did both coffee and tea. This one, it doesn't look like it on here, but this one's kind of pink, and it's actually avocado dyed paper, which was way fun. A ledger paper, just because. This was passion tea dyed. Scrapbook paper, I just added a label, drew a little flower, and then put a stamp on. I guess this is a printed flower. My apologies. I didn't make that one. I just cut it out. I think I cut it out of a Coldwater Creek magazine, actually. And on the back of that, I just have a page from a notebook that I had laying around, kind of like that sunburst, and then I just put a little rub-on kind of embellishment. This is probably one of my favorites, and this centerpiece is the first one that I did that kind of got me started. I really like this steampunk rooster. And I just used the scrapbook paper as the background in the pocket, sewed around it, obviously, and then this tag was one that was in the items from my friend Brandy that she had put together, and I just added some washi to the back. And then this is just a card from one of the, I believe, Tim Holtz collections that I thought would be cute in there. And then on the back, I just added some paper, ran some pink archival ink over it, and then I've got a scrapbooker's, or you can cut out the images and use. And so I really liked this gal. And I just put some medical gauze kind of around behind it, and I liked the way that looked. Dyed paper, ledger. On the back of this ledger, I made little corner pockets from, oh, look at that, from paper that I had made, same that I used on the cover. And then this is also a paper I created on the gel print, and then just added some little embellishments to that, and I really like that. And then the back is just actually, gosh, I got stuff stuck all over here. The back is kind of craft paper that came in some stuff from Amazon. So I've kept all that, and it's very handy. And then, of course, a little wording. More dyed paper. I've discovered I really like vellum. So I used this to cover her because I think that's kind of a fun look. And these are just a roll of sticker that I put on. And then this, the template was from Hither and Yon, and I used it on Canva and just found this image and printed it. So it makes a nice corner pocket. The back is fabric from like a one-piece jumper that I bought in California last year, and at an outdoor market, and I loved it at the time, and I've never worn it, and I thought, well, I'm going to get some use out of it, so I lined that page. And again, this is one of the tags, and I'll have to find out who it is because I just really love these. And all I did is just add some little embellishments there. I have like a clear glittery glue, and I just did a little bit of lines on her hat and added the little gem and then some blue tulle on the top, since she's got a little blue in her, nice blue in her top. And then another just card as a little bit of extra writing, journaling space. Didn't do anything with the back, I'm fine with that. Didn't do anything with that side of the book page. This one, I did a belly band from a Braille Raff page that I had laying around, and then added some embellishments. The card, again, I used one of the journal page templates from Hither and Yon on Canva. That's a lot of the Canva stuff I did, or really all the Canva stuff is going to be from using a template from Hither and Yon. And so I just picked a background, and I really like this heart. Put an eyelet on it and some lace and tulle. And then typically whatever color I inked the edges on, I just kind of ran my brush all around the back to reduce the white and give it that little bit of tint from the same edge color. Coffee dyed paper, left that one blank. The other side of the doily, this was another print that was a free printable, and I think it was TLC Creatives. I'll have to see what the actual name of it is. So that's on that side, and then this side I just did a card, Again, I'm going to say that these are all Tim Holtz stuff. And I just added a piece of yarn with a key. This page, I didn't do anything special. I just inked the background with some archival ink. This again is a watercolored coffee filter, and then one of the cutout butterflies, because I feel like this reminds me of, I have a lot of hibiscus flowers, and this reminds me of the hibiscus texture. I didn't do anything with this page. On this page, it's a book page, and this is a jelly plate paper that I made for the belly band, or that I had left over, so I used it as belly band. There's the Library of Congress. You can print off all kinds of stuff, and I thought these cats were kind of fun, and my daughter has some cats, so I thought it'd be fun to put these in. And I just used a bold pen with a piece of fabric and a button, and then on the back I drew some lines and put a stamp. On this side, again, this is a brayer off sheet that I had, and I just cut it into a belly band. Printed this off from Canva, the mushrooms I found on Canva. The paper behind is a gel paper that I made, gel print paper, and then I just stamped and added a couple little embellishments there. Paper, passion tea paper. This one I did leave the page white, so this is what started me off. I was just making bookmarks for my daughter. Gel print paper that I made, and then I just added these little embellishments. Some of them were from the items I found from my friend. The tag, or the little tassel, is actually from Johnny Was. It's a clothing line, and they have these really cute little tags. And the paper on the back behind this little book print is also off of a Johnny Was tag that I just peeled it off. It's like tissue paper. I peeled it off their clothing tag and used it as a background. A little bit of washi and some hand-drawn stitching. This pocket is made out of a masterboard piece. I just cut it out and added some wording. Masterboard piece that I made from my gel prints, brayer offs, leftovers, whatever. I didn't do anything with this side. Didn't do much with this side. I took this I printed off of Canva, and then I put a piece of vellum over it. I was going to use it as a slidey tag on a belly band, but at the point that I added this, the book was pretty full, so I just decided to leave it there, and I like the way it looks on there. On the back side of that page, I've got, again, a brayer off sheet, and this pocket is made from a brayer off sheet. Added some little embellishments. In the back pocket, made a tag from gel plate paper that I made. These little pieces are coffee dyed or watercolor coffee filters, and they came out kind of spotty, so I just drew flowers around the spots. Added some embellishments, stamped on the 1991. The stamp was just one I got at the dollar store, and then I just outlined it. Some fabric and yarn at the top, and that's for the back. And then this is another flower out of one of the stress reliever coloring books, and I thought I would leave it in there, and if she wants to color it, she can, and then the back can be written on if she wanted. And then that has its little pocket there. There. More dyed paper, notebook paper. This is scrapbook paper. The little frog I cut out of a magazine. I thought it was pretty cute, and I just backed it with construction paper and put the little saying on it. And then these are little cards from I think the Tim Holtz collection. So I just thought they'd be cute in there. And I really like that this one is a library card. I thought that was fun. Left the back with space to write. Again, the cat I cut out of a magazine somewhere that I had. Printed this off of Canva, the love part off of Canva. Left the book page as is here. This page, so I used a handkerchief, folded in half, and then folded the corner down, and then sewed it in with the pocket. So, and then added the embellishments. These cards, again, I will have to remember who. I've got everything in my craft room, but I thought these cards were really fun. Just aged playing cards, and then I backed them in craft paper from packing material. This is paper that I made. I was trying my hand at watercolor. Some of it worked, some of it didn't. This is one of the better ones. It's got a little bit of gold or shimmery in it. I just sewed some lace on it and then added some embellishments, and this I printed off of Canva and then stitched around it. And then this one is just a card made from my masterboard. Just added the tag on the front and left the back. So got 3 pockets out of that. Left the stitching on the back open, just put a little pocket. This is another, it was a free printable. This was the other bookmark that I initially made my daughter 2 bookmarks and then started on the book, decided she needed a book. Again, brayer off paper. This was just from the stuff that my friend gave me. It was a little pastry bag piece, so I thought that was cute. Little flower that I cut out, and then just added some embellishments to little book page. And again, I did the hand stitching, hand drawn stitching on the back. More dyed paper, more just book page. I didn't do much to this page other than the other side has vellum, so I folded the vellum over for the edge and then put washi on it, and I like those colors a lot. So on this side, I printed off of a Canva on vellum, and so it's just the mushroom with a little bit of green background. And so then when it flips open, there's a whole page to be able to journal on. And I thought this was pretty cute. I like that. More graph paper, or ledger paper rather. Dyed paper, scrapbook paper, and this one, the butterflies, these were printed from the Hither and Yon template and off of Canva. And then I just washi taped the back and across the top, and I did that on both sides of this center piece. Again, another one of the tags, and I didn't do anything to the front of this one because they really are just beautiful. And then I inked it a little bit. This is a tag from one of the, I want to say it's still from, most of these are going to be Tim Holtz stuff. And I just circled the dates on it for my daughter's birthday. On this side, this page, again, is a watercolor that I played around with, and did some of the gold rub-on stickers. Dragonfly was one that came with supplies from my friend, and I just took an ink pad and pressed over top of it randomly. Tim Holtz tissue paper and wording, and then I think I used Posca pen for the white and the gold dots going around, and then hand-drawn stitching. And you can see there's more of the washi tape across the back. Didn't do anything with this side, partly because I don't think I could make this book any bigger, any thicker. This one is again jelly print paper that I made, and then just bits and pieces. Some things were from my friends, some things are Tim Holtz, some I printed off from somewhere else, I think. And then the back was a paper, I don't remember exactly what I did to get it, but it was one that I wasn't sure I was going to be able to use, and I think I was able to salvage it pretty well there. Anyway, this pocket is on the coffee dyed paper, and it's brayer. This little envelope is made from brayer off sheet, and then I just used little Tim Holtz tags and brads. And on the inside, I was playing with some stencils and came up with this, so I used that on the inside, a little washi tape to cover the brad so things don't get caught, and then a couple more of these cards that fit nicely, and then just some twine for that closure. Left that side blank, didn't do anything with the ledger paper. This page, all I did was add this notes page that I printed off of Canva. Didn't do anything with that. It's pretty enough. I didn't feel like I needed to. On this one, I just added the little book that I'd cut out. Nothing on the back, dyed paper. This one, again, printed this letter and background off of Canva, and I really like that. The stitching I had done, of course, before I assembled the book on the other side. This was another free printable that I can't remember, but I'll find out who I printed it from. And then just a little bulb pin with a piece of fabric that is actually out of a book binding. When I took the book page, the book block out, and I saved the binding that I tore out of the center. And I'll reuse that book at some point. But anyway, I like that. This is the other side with the handkerchief. I just did a little different embellishment. A free printable card in there. And these little flowers were some that my friend gave me, and I just, fabric-tacked those on. Couple Tim Holtz cards in here. This was another watercolor coffee filter, and then fabric and more piece from the book spine that I took apart, and a button. And that one I did not ink the back. This one, I kind of like the background on that page. It's got some nice texture to it. This was another one of the free printables. So all I did was add some fabric down here, just for a little texture, and then used this little card as a corner pocket. Just used a piece of paper and some washi and a couple little Tim Holtz embellishments for the tab. This was another print off of Canva. Just made a card to glue on there. Didn't do anything with that side or with this paper. I promise we're almost to the end. Avocado dyed paper. And then the last page, I printed this leaf pattern on the vellum from Canva. And then underneath it, I just inked the scrapbook page. This was a printable, and then I added the little wording and all the stars, if you will. And then that is the end of the book. So y'all can tell me what you think. I know this is really long. I may edit and see if I can take out some of my stutter steps. Anyway, I am pretty happy with it, even though it is quite large for trying to close. And I just hope my daughter likes it. All right, thanks.